Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I'm going to show you how to release fuel pressure from a vehicle that does not have a Schrader valve. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, a Schrader valve is basically a little port that's located right around the fuel rail on this particular GM vehicle. You'll see it right back there. You'll see a little cap. You'll unscrew that cap, your valve will be underneath of that, and that's where you would press to release any fuel pressure or connect into if you're doing a fuel pressure test. I went ahead and took the cap off so you can see it back there. On this vehicle it's a little harder to see, so let's go to another vehicle where it's a little easier to see what I'm talking about. Here it is right here on this vehicle. You can see that. Kind of looks like the valve on your tire. And basically what you would do is you would press that centerpiece in with a screwdriver or something that would then release the pressure. But the car that we're dealing with today for this video is one that does not have that. And more manufacturers, I guess to cut costs, are doing away with it. So that's why I'm doing this video. And you can see on this vehicle, which is a Dodge Neon, there's your fuel rail. And there's no valve anywhere on this. So you're kind of at a point, you need to do work to the vehicle or the fuel system. You need to release the pressure, and you encounter this. What you're going to do is we're going to head over to the fuse and relay box. Here it is right here on this vehicle. So you would have to find it on your specific vehicle. Usually I've found that on a lot of cars it's kind of in the area of the battery. So pretty much when you get that, you're going to go ahead and pop that off. And there's your relays and fuses in here. If you come over to the lid, the inside of the lid, you'll have a diagram. This diagram pretty much gives you the description of what each one is. So what we're going to be doing is coming through here and looking for the one that says fuel pump relay. So let's see, as we're coming down, here it is right here, number 31 on this particular vehicle. So that's what you're looking for, the fuel pump relay. That's what you want to remove, so that way we can disengage the fuel pump from applying any fuel into the system and creating the pressure buildup. So let's see, so that would be over here. Before removing fuses or relays from this, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and remove your negative battery terminal. That way you don't provide any kind of electric short or anything that could cause more damage. So what I would recommend is removing the negative battery cable. That way you disengage the battery, and then at that point then you can move on to removing the relay. We have this diagram here, so pretty much you're looking at it this way. So as we're coming down, this would be our fuel pump relay right here, the last one. So we're going to gently remove that. You don't want to break the prongs on it, so just be patient. Alright, so I went ahead and I removed the relay switch for the fuel pump. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the car, we're going to start it, and just pretty much burn any fuel out of the system. So that'll then remove any fuel from the fuel line, from the system, from the fuel rail. That'll also take the pressure out, because with this being out, the fuel pump is not adding more fuel to the system and creating more pressure. So we're going to go ahead and start it. It's going to pretty much act as if it's running out of gas, because we're going to burn what's left in there and it'll conk out. But once it conks out, we'll know that the system's clear, the pressure's gone, the fuel's out of it, and that'll pretty much accomplish this mission. So let's go ahead and get that started. An easy way to tell if removing that relay was the correct one, even though it does say fuel pump on it, sometimes they may not be as clear, is normally when your fuel pump is working fine and you just turn the key to power on, don't turn the engine over, you'll hear the fuel pump prime. Go ahead and take a listen. And you should have heard that humming noise. That's the fuel pump priming. When you pull out the relay, if it's the correct one, and you turn that key, you won't hear anything. And that's an easy way to tell that the fuel pump has been disengaged, because it won't be priming. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. We're going to run it until it pretty much will not start, and we'll know that all the fuel's out of the system. Sometimes, depending on your vehicle and how much fuel is in the system, you might get it to run a little bit and then it'll stall out. In some cases, if the fuel system, the pressure was already low because it hadn't been driven in a while, it just won't start. It'll act as if you're just out of gas, and it'll turn over, but it won't start. So let's go ahead and fire it up and see what we get. Okay, so we saw there pretty much wouldn't start. So whatever fuel was in the system, as little as it may have been the pressure on this, it's out. So at this point we know that the fuel pressure has been released, and at that point we can proceed with whatever work has to be done on the vehicle, whether you're replacing the fuel pump, whether you're replacing the fuel injectors, any kind of work in the fuel system where you want to be getting the pressure out so you don't have gasoline spraying all over the place. So that pretty much wraps up this video on how to release the fuel pressure from your vehicle if you don't have a Schrader valve. Please send me any questions, any comments. I would love to hear from you. I hope this video helped you out. I hope it was informative. As always, I appreciate all the support, so please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.